Yo, good morning, regular gamers. Hope everyone is well. It's 11:43, so I'm a little bit behind today, but we're going to be doing an earlier stream than our regular Tuesday streams. So I'm just gonna get rid of this face cam just for a second, just so we can have a look and see what our camos are and what we need to be working towards today. So just bear with me a moment, and I'll be right back to this beautiful face. Right, so currently we're working on the bullfrog. We're pretty much almost done. Like, we've got, a couple hundred kills, critical kills, which are the hardest ones, and we're done. Kind of annoyed that I haven't finished that already. There was clearly a game that I stopped where I was just like, hey, maybe I should call this one, and I was, a couple of hundred critical hit kills away from finishing the bullfrog and moving on to something else. So that sounded like a genius decision. But we'll get ourselves into a match, and we'll see what's going on with how long this will take us to finish off the bullfrog and then decide which gun we're going to use next. I'm thinking the MAC-10. I do like the MAC-10. I would also imagine the MAC-10 has a little bit of progression already, but we need 2 more SMGs. We've done the OTS-9, the PPSH, and soon the bullfrog. And I was thinking the MAC-10 and maybe... Gosh, there was another one that sprung to mind. I think the LC-10, I was thinking about. I do like the LC-10, it's a fun gun.
Be advised, strike team is on the ground in the OZ.
Alright, let's get busy. Got some good events. We're probably not going to get past round 1 because, like I said, a couple hundred kills and we're out of here. We're not going to sit, continue grinding when we've finished the bullfrog. So I don't even know if we'll get a pack-a-punched. Just running around getting manual headshots. Deadshot daiquiri. God, I wish you could start with it. With the way I play. Okay, I thought that should have been a headshot. But whatever.
It is over for you.
Hope everyone had a pretty good weekend. My weekend is pretty much just coming up to a close. Played a little bit of Sea of Thieves on the weekend. A little bit of Diablo 2, the resurrected version. That's an interesting game. I was a huge fan of Diablo 3. Played that numerous times, but man, it's a little bit different to Diablo 2. And I don't know if it's maybe the difficulty that I'm playing on, but man, my character sucks in Diablo 2. My guy just feels so weak. I probably need to spend a little bit of time, looking up a good build for my character, work out, what enchantments I should be using on my weapons and armors, what skills I should be primarily focusing on. I've been really lazy and I've literally been putting all my skills into like my club skill because I use a club. And I was just like, why not just make myself stronger? But I'm pretty sure I'm playing a barbarian, but as a barbarian I should be probably looking to be more durable than strong. I don't know much about Diablo 2. Still learning.
Contact down.
Alright, let's try and get enough with the double points to try to get Deadshot Daiquiri. Then we'll fly through this. By the way, don't mind me. I seem to have woken up with a little bit of a blocked nose. I'm not sure if I'm getting sick or, you know, what it is, but yeah, we're a little bit maybe under the weather today.
Harvester team is KIA. You'll need to complete the extraction process.
I only hope your team proves less fragile than my own.
Just a heads up, guys, the schedule might be a little bit flaky this coming week. This Friday, I'm getting some teeth pulled, so you know, that's happening on Friday. I don't know how long it'll take me to recover, whether it's a few days or one day. So while I'm sore and recovering, no streams. I could do streams without, you know, talking. Believe me, I mean, that's probably the easiest stream ever. You know, it's just like playing a video game on your own at home, you know, but I don't think that'd be too entertaining. I mean, you guys watch for me, right? I know Tech Guy does. Shout outs to Tech Guy. But, you know, we had a little bit of a break, not so much a break, but, you know, we were playing some other games that I didn't think I should stream. Such as Diablo 2, because, boy, if anyone actually tuned in that knew what they were doing, I would just get roasted. But we didn't stream that, so it's been a little bit of a break. I think we haven't streamed since Thursday, so a few days. But it feels good to be back. It feels good to have some content being recorded at the same time. We uploaded our first video to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/regulargaming.
And to think I get paid for this. Target dropped.
We kind of need to be heading over here, because this is where Deadshot Daiquiri is. Look at that. So literally as I went live today, I feel like it was some bot, because some person on numerous accounts that all have pretty much the same username started following the channel and then unfollowed the channel. I don't know if they get banned or like what happens, but I can see that the follow count didn't go up. When you're in my kind of territory of followers, you notice every single follower that follows. You know, you notice when someone drops off. You know, when you're super successful and you have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers, you know, things probably fall through the cracks. But when you have 2 followers, you notice when someone just unfollows you.
Rotten bushmeat is piling up.
Alright, we got our Deadshot Daiquiri. I really get annoyed with these hellhounds. But we should be all... I mean, we're going to be close to being nearly done. Getting things done real quick now. We've done 99, so we're probably halfway there, roughly. I still can't remember what it was. It was like 2,366, I think. So we're probably more than halfway. We probably just need to smash out a very small amount, and then we're done. Obviously, what I love to see, lots of hellhounds right up ahead. Love getting critical hit kills on them, and that's just what I'm looking for. Oh, look, one popped up behind me. So while I was I've been trying to make plans, you know, myself while I'm recovering from, you know, my dental stuff, to see, you know, give myself something to do, make time go a little bit quicker, and the main thing that I was thinking about doing was playing, you know, zombies. Moving one of the Xboxes into the bedroom, maybe. Playing some zombies, maybe finishing out our camos. I don't know if I'll play it that much. I just don't know how long I'm going to be down for. But I was definitely thinking about doing that, and I was thinking about whether or not I should use any of my double weapons experience tokens, because, you know, there's like the launchers and the melee weapons, stuff like that I'd never use really, so they're low level. And I was kind of thinking, you know, should I use the tokens to boost their level up really quickly, or not? And I think I came to the conclusion that maybe for a little bit, yeah, but I think if I focused on the challenges like the 2,500 kills, 2,500 critical kills, and the 2,500 pack-a-punch kills, by the time I'm done with those, it's probably, the weapon's probably level 50 at least, and then I can, I'm sure this isn't the same with launches, but then I'm sure I can work on just doing the, you know, the get 10 kills in quick succession, 20 kills without being hit, 3 critical kills, you know, in quick succession, 6 times, 8 times, boss kills, stuff like that. I'm sure I can work on those afterwards, because they won't take that long, as opposed to 2,500 kills. In my experience, 2,500 kills takes me, getting all 3 of them done takes me about 4 hours, roughly. Depending on, you know, the maps, how kind of lucky I'm getting with spawns, zombies, rotations, stuff like that. Which sounds weird in zombies, like rotations, but like some events can get me better, better zombies spawning. You know, like the black box event spawns heaps of regular zombies. However, if I rotate from one event and I see no zombies and I'm pretty close to the anomaly, I'll probably just transport to the next world. Even if there are heaps of zombies around. Yeah. They just don't pop. I might just start this event, because I might finish the challenge while I'm doing it. So we'll just do it. I've noticed that I'm no longer able to earn Ethereum crystals from completing waves, because I fully maxed out everything in zombies, which kind of annoyed me, because, you know, that must have been it. Maybe, no? Anyway. Which kind of, yeah, there it is. Kind of annoyed me, because, you know, when you know, they add new stuff into zombies all the time. They're probably not going to do it with Outbreak mode anymore, because, you know, the game's pretty much finished. You know, we have Vanguard coming out in, you know, less than 2 months. But yeah, it's one of those things that I kind of would have liked to have accumulated, like at least see how many I would have accumulated by the end of it. But we're gonna back out of this. Like I said, we're only here for the skin. We got the skin. We'll go set up a new SMG with a new build, and we'll jump into a new round. So we're now 3 out of 5 SMGs done. Just gonna open a drink, so just bear with me a moment. Could have had coffee this morning, but I thought, you know what? Why not be a teenager and use an energy drink to wake me up? Alright. Yeah, let's probably do the Mac 10. Wow. They're not great. Now, I used to use the MAC-10 quite a lot in Warzone, obviously, like pretty much everyone does. But this build would not work in Warzone. There's just way too many attachments. But, you know, I really don't know what to pick here. I'm just gonna pick this because I don't care. Yeah, let's check out our camos. Okay. Oh wow, I thought the MAC-10 had a little bit of progression, but it has none. I have no progression in zombies for the MAC-10. Yikes. Well, on the plus side, the LC-10 has to have some progression then, right? Got a friend that's just started playing World of Warcraft, wanting me to, you know, almost every time I speak with this friend, they're wanting me to play World of Warcraft. There's like a subtle or non-subtle hint or like allusion to me playing World of Warcraft. And for those of you that didn't know, for many years I played an MMO game called Tibia. It's not as popular as World of Warcraft. It's not as flashy in its graphics, but there's a lot of you know, it's very old school, you know, and I really enjoy some of that old school kind of RPG stuff. Oh no, we just got a ray gun on our first zombie of this game. Ronald ray gun. No shot. Wow. What a run. Right? The first main zombie. Right, so we killed a couple of the hellhounds, but the first zombie? Man, what are the chances of that? Wow, this gun's really not strong. But anyway, yeah, so I played an MMO game called Tibia a long time ago. Still jump back to it every now and again, not for long bursts of time by any stretch of the what I used to play it. When I was a teenager, I was introduced to this game by a whole bunch of people at my school. You know, and I played it because that's what everyone was kind of, well, that's what these people were playing. And it was you know, thankfully it was a game that I could kind of get into. You know, it had a bit of elements of some of the, you know, older games that I used to play, you know, on the Nintendo 64 and stuff like that, like Gauntlet Legends. In the sense that it's kind of a little bit like a dungeon crawler-esque. You know, you get your four classes: your knight, your druid, paladin, and your sorcerer. My first time ever playing was a knight, just because knights and barbarians and, you know, stuff like that, they're usually the easiest class, in a sense. You don't have to navigate your mana, you don't have to navigate a lot of skills and spells and stuff like that. You literally just stand in one spot and you just kind of, you know, you hit stuff. That's your job. You take damage and you hit stuff. You know, so I played that. And I found it really enjoyable. I had no idea the kind of impact it was going to have on me later on, but yeah, when I started playing Tibia, you know, I was young. I didn't. It's not like today where everyone's got, you know, laptops and stuff like that. We had a computer in our kitchen. That was it, like just a desktop in our kitchen, connected to the modem via Ethernet, and that was it. So I had a, you know, it's not like I had scheduled gaming time. Pretty much, if it was a weekend, you know, I wake up and I could play as long as I wanted until bedtime. However, on weekdays, it would be, you know, wake up, go to school, come home from school, you can play until bedtime. Here in Australia, school finishes at about 3 o'clock each day, and that wasn't too much of an issue. Except my bedtime was really early, but you know, we can jump into that another day. But yeah, when I first started out, you know, I was hooked to it. This is back in the old MSN days, so I'd be online, I'd be talking to friends on MSN, I'd be playing my Tibia, you know, and that's what I'd do, day in, day out. I'd neglect a lot of homework because, you know, Tibia. And my mum wasn't the most attentive mother, so, you know, as long as I was kind of quiet and not getting into trouble and not causing any issues, for the most part, I don't think she minded what I did. You know, if I wasn't necessarily doing homework, she was probably okay with that, as long as I was out of the way. Which worked fine for me, don't get me wrong. I don't look back and think, man, if only I had more supervision, because at the time I loved having that kind of freedom, as most children would. But yeah, so I played Tibia a lot when I was younger. I didn't really get very far. I think it took me a year until I'd really gotten past level 30. Because, you know, I made one of each vocation because I wanted to see after a while, you know, which one I really enjoyed the most. Whether the night really did work for me, and for the most part it did. I like the other vocations, but, you know, I'm not very good with them. Made some great friends on Tibia, as you do when you play online games. You know, people that don't play online games don't really understand some of the friendships you can make with some of these people, but you can make some great friendships online. And I think it, you know, back then it was probably such a weird concept. You know, you'd be like, oh, got a whole bunch of online friends. People would be like, well, those people aren't real, you know. But anyway, towards, I guess, the end of my high schooling, you know, flash forward, I was like addicted to Tibia, and like, I mean, like, in the sense of World of Warcraft, you know, you've probably heard stories of people that, you know, they stop working, they stop eating, they stop sleeping, you know, and they play the game. I was almost at that point, right? So my schooling would involve basically, you know, for a little bit, I would wake up and I would go to school because I would be taken to school. There's no way around that. However, I would sign into home group. Home group was always first to make sure that people were there. So if you skipped any of your lessons throughout the day, your teachers would know that at the beginning of the day you were there. So there's no real reason why you shouldn't be in their lessons, right? It's supposed to, you know, be a bit of a deterrent and to prevent truancy. And as you'll hear in just a moment, little genius me, you know, it did nothing, right? So I would wake up, I would go to school, I would sign into home group, I'd see, you know, some of my friends and be like, hey, what's going on? How was Tibia the night before? Yeah, cool. That's great. But then I would write myself a note. You know, I'd be like, Jordan's got a dentist appointment. Jordan's got an orthodontist appointment, a podiatrist appointment, psychologist appointment, you know, anything. If it ended in IST, I had it. Gynecologist, you betcha. You know, I would just come up with anything, right? The home group teacher never really questioned anything. I don't know about teachers in other schools, other states, other countries, but my home group teacher was really lazy. She, you know, if there was a note and it said I was to be excused I think in her mind she was like, well, I've done all I can. You know, if he's got to go to his gynecologist appointment, he's got to go to his gynecologist appointment. Who am I to stand in between? So, you know, yeah, as long as I had the note, she didn't mind. And because I had the note, none of the other teachers would question it. Right? So you remember, you know, obviously home group, you'd sign in and the other teachers would know if you're there. Well, if you had a note and you walked up to the front office with the note and you signed out of school, so like, you know, I come to school, I sign out at like 9 AM, none of the other teachers will, you know, expect me to be in their lessons. So the only teacher that's really going to question anything in the long run is going to be my home group teacher. So that's what I did. I would sign into, I would, you know, attend school, and I would leave early, and I would go home, and I would play Tibia. And if my mum came home from work at that point and was like, hey, what are you doing home? I would just say that I had a free lesson. And my mum never really kept track of my free lessons, because if she did, she'd realize that my free lessons were pretty much appearing at my convenience. So yeah, I did that for a long time, playing a game, because I was addicted to this online game. And you know, at the time, I thought I was the fucking smartest person alive. I was like, who needs school? I'm clearly a genius. You know, I'm way above anyone else. No one's ever going to catch me. And I kept going for majority of the year. And that would be my day. I would wake up, I would come to school, I would sign into school, I would write myself a note, and I would excuse myself from school at 9 o'clock. I would then walk home. I'd get home roughly at about 10 AM, and I would play games from 10 AM until, gosh, at that time of my, you know, bedtime requirements, probably until 9:30. You know, so a good 11-hour day of gaming. My mum would be at work most of the time, so for the most of it, I would be playing games just peacefully on my own. You know, it wasn't horrible. However, you know, genius me at the time didn't realize, you know, what kind of an impact it's having, because at this point I'm in, you know, some of my most important school years in the Australian curriculum. But, you know, I didn't realize that. But, yeah, eventually my school did catch on to things, because while I may have been a prodigy in my own eyes to the school, I was just a little truant idiot. And they did catch me. And they, you know, they got in touch with my mum and my dad, and, you know, they had a meeting, and I was at the meeting. I didn't really say much because, you know, I don't know if anyone's ever had one of those, you know, kind of school meetings where, like, the kids kind of messed up, you know, and everyone, you know, there's a lot of blame and stuff like that on the kid, and they're kind of like, well, you know, how could you do this? But I think in this situation, everyone was kind of embarrassed by it. You know, me being a teenager, I didn't realize the long-term impact, but so, you know, I was kind of just like, you know, here I am. What's my punishment going to be? But the school, I think I was dealing with the deputy principal. I don't think, you know, my genius had made it all the way up to the principal, but I was dealing with the deputy principal, and I think they were kind of embarrassed that it had taken so long to catch on. My parents were definitely embarrassed and probably a little bit, you know, disappointed and ashamed of, you know, what had happened. But for the most part, like, it kind of just, it did reflect on them, because, like, how does a parent not know that their kid's skipping school this often? You know? Which was, I think, what the school thought as well. Like, how does the school not realize that a student's taking everyone for a ride? So, it was kind of I would say it was more of a mutual meeting, where they kind of discussed things. And the school's recommendation was that I should probably stop attending altogether. It's kind of like when you call in sick so often to a job, you know, the job's eventually like, look, if you don't come in on Friday, don't bother showing up on Monday. Well, the school kind of took that route with me. They're just like, look, you really kind of did a number on us here. Maybe it's best if you don't attend, you know, for the rest of the year. which to me was fine because they kind of like, and I think my mum hated that because basically their punishment for me skipping school was to basically make it so I'm no longer skipping school, I'm just no longer going to school for the rest of the year, which at this point probably had a good 12 weeks or so left. So little did I know at the time that schools in the Australian, well, I guess the state that I live in, schools are measured by their pass rate by other schools. And I think the state funding to those schools depends on those pass rates. And I'm guessing, you know, I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing that what I had done would have impacted their pass rate. And they were, instead of being like, hey, look, continue with school and see, you know, maybe you can pass some things and, you know, maybe it won't look too bad. They were just like, look, we need you to stop showing up so that you don't show up as a number in our report at the end of the year. So I think they were a little bit, you know, ulterior motive, but, you know, my parents didn't know that this was what was going on, and I didn't know that this is what was going on, so we just kind of went along with it. We took their recommendation, and, you know, I stopped going to school for the rest of that year. And, yeah, you know, the moral of the story was, you know, like, I got really addicted to playing this MMO game, Tibia, to the point that I was essentially skipping school 5 days a week, you know, and, you know, school's important. So, yeah, you hear a lot of stories about a lot of, you know, streamers and pro gamers that, you know, they didn't really pay attention in school, they didn't do a lot of homework, they didn't do a lot of this or that, you know, and obviously if you're watching them, you know, it probably worked out for them. They were, you know, they managed to get lucky and made a career or something out of it, you know, but for myself, you know, I don't stream as a career, I stream as a hobby, you know, because I like recording things, and I'm always recording things off camera. You know, I recorded a bunch of Sea of Thieves stuff this weekend. You know, do I ever plan on uploading it? I don't know. I just record it because I like recording things in regards to gaming. But I have a regular job, and my jobs, for a period of time, were really hindered by my education. You know, I managed to get that all sorted out in the long run, but yeah, it's if I could go back, I wouldn't have done what I did. At the time, I didn't think of the consequences because, you know, I was a stupid teenager. No teenager thinks of the consequences, you know? But the point of what I'm trying to make, and I kind of have really become sidetracked here, is my friend who knew me during this period and knows what I'm like when I really, really find a game that I enjoy. You know, he wants me to play a new MMO. He wants me to play World of Warcraft with him, and I've never played World of Warcraft. But I have heard about the addictive stories. You know, how people play it, like I said, for a crazy amount of times and neglect everything else. So I haven't wanted to start World of Warcraft. I've been putting it off. I've not, you know, said, look, I'm never going to play it, but I've put it off because I know that I'd get really addicted to it. And I would, you know, I don't have anyone, you know, I'm an adult now. I don't have anyone really that's kind of like, hey, you gotta wake up and go to work, or you gotta wake up and go to school. You know, there's no one that really dictates what I do. You know, I'm just kind of responsible for myself. And part of being responsible for myself means I've got to know when I shouldn't touch a specific game because it might cause me to not go to work, or it might cause me to, you know, neglect just other responsibilities.
Move on my waypoint.
Sometimes it's not fun, but yeah, sometimes you got to be responsible like that. So I've said no to doing it, and he just constantly wants me to play. Thankfully, at this point, because he's been playing for a while now, and he's in my eyes addicted to it. Not to my extent, but you know, this is a man that currently in lockdown, so there's not really much he can do, but he's playing games non-stop until 5 o'clock in the morning. New games are coming out that he wants to play, but he can't play them because all he wants to do is play World of Warcraft. So, in my opinion, he's kind of hooked. But thankfully, because of how hooked he is and how much time he's already put into the game, it's kind of like, well, I don't want to play now because you've put so much time into it. You're so much further ahead than me. You know, it's... You know, the most convincing time would have been at the beginning. And if not at the beginning, if he had a delayed and just constantly been hassling me and been like, hey man, come on, like, when are we going to play this? Sooner or later, I probably would have been like, all right, we'll play it, you know? But thankfully, I've managed to fend off this crazy... What I hear is a crazy fun game. So I've been lucky this far. Because nothing, in my opinion, you know, 10 years from now, if I did play World of Warcraft and I got addicted to it, you know, the same way that I played Tibia, I wouldn't have learned anything from Tibia, you know? And while I say that I would do things differently, you know, if I, you know, could go back, I can't go back. And I don't want to just sit there living with regret. So I don't regret what I did. At the time, it was really fun. I've managed to, you know, reverse the negative impact that it had, you know, in the sense of my long-term education. I managed to, you know, fix that. So, you know, I kind of got lucky. Like, I could fix the damage that it did, in a sense. But I would also like to come out of that and learn from it. And, you know, I love playing video games, you know, as we all do. But, you know, you gotta be smart with it. You know your limits, kind of thing. You know, if video games is a career that you want, I wouldn't say don't go for it, because you'll miss 100% of the chances you don't take. But, you know, be smart, have a backup. You know, I know a kid now that all he does is pretty much stay up late and play video games and watch movies, and I see so much of myself in this kid. He's doing it at a much younger age, which is probably more dangerous, because I, at least by the time I did it, had the essentials. Like, I didn't know everything, but I knew the basics. You know, I could read, I could write, I could count, you know, multiply, subtract, divide. I could do all of that stuff. You know, I understood comprehension and stuff like that. You know, it was more like, at that point, we were doing like specialist stuff, like legal studies, psychology at high school, biology, you know. But anyway, you know, the kid that I know that's currently, you know, doing this kind of stuff, like, he's a lot younger. You know, and I've spoken to him, and he wants to, you know, he wants to do YouTube, you know, and he would probably want to do Twitch as well, because, you know, he's got such a passion for gaming, and he probably thinks that he does really cool stuff in games, and I don't watch him enough to know if he does, but we all think we do cool stuff in games, you know, so I can relate to where he's coming from, you know, but, like, I wouldn't tell him don't go for it, but, you know, you gotta know what you're doing. You still gotta, you know, at that age, you still gotta go through school, you still gotta get good hours rest, and you just gotta fit it in between. You know, if I had a kid and they told me, you know, I think because of my own personal experience, I have a different view on children in gaming. But if I had a child that was, you know, 13 or 14, and they were like, look, I want to be a professional gamer in like an esports sense, not like a content sense, I think I would have to be a little bit open-minded. You know, it's like when your kid says they want to be an actress or a musician. You know the odds are stacked up against them. You know, but, like, what are you going to do? Are you just going to crush their dreams and they're going to do it anyway? Or are you going to be supportive? So I would like to think that I would be supportive, but, you know, within, you know, reason. My kid's not going to stay up playing games until midnight every night so that he can be the best and he can get hours and hours of practice in. It's just not going to happen. But if they can fit in that practice after homework and, you know, on their weekends and stuff like that, maybe. But hopefully, you know, I would love for my kid to play video games, but I would hope that my at the same time, maybe my kid would get into like some sport or something like that as well. It'd be interesting.
Cleared myself some breathing space.
Maybe I just want my kid to get into sport because I would love to be one of those fathers that it goes to the sporting events, you know, mingles with all the other dads, you know, and you're looking at your kid on the field and you're like, yep, number 17, that's mine. That's my boy, kind of thing. I think that'd be a really fun thing to do. But they may not be into sport, so you know, they can have their own hobbies. Maybe they're into music. Maybe they are into fashion. Maybe they're into, I don't know, stamps. You know, their hobby is their hobby.
No fear in their eyes. They missed that.
Man, going back to it though, Tibia is a great game. If you've never played it, strongly recommend, you know, giving it a try. If you're into the MMO RPGs, head on over to tibia.com. Create a character. Forge an alternate reality. One thing I'll say about Tibia, and it's, you know, it's survived, you know, decades. I think Tibia first came out in '97. I didn't play it back then. Obviously, I was way too young. But Tibia, I think, first came out in '97 or '99. And the way it's kind of managed to stay alive is crazy when you look at how gaming has changed and evolved over time. Tibia is an open-ended game. There's no level cap. There's no cap to how strong you can become. You can become the strongest character on a server, and you can become the leading guild on that server and absolutely dominate and terrorize everyone to the point that people rise up against you and band together to overthrow you. And I've seen it happen. Or you can just play it casually. You know, you just play it, level up here and there, and do quests, and you're mostly there to make friends. I always had the dream of being the overthrowing power lord on the server. That was my goal. When I was skipping school, I was leveling up at a what I thought was great pace. I was getting about 1 level per day, which, like, this is around level 50. I was, you know, going from like 50 to, actually I think I went from 30 to 70. You know, 1 level per day kind of thing. Which to me seemed really good, because like I said, for the first like year, I couldn't get higher than level 30 because I kept making other characters and, you know, I just messed around kind of thing. So going from 30 to 70, 75, something like that, 1 level per day for me was great. That's why it kind of, I guess in my weird way, it kind of like reinforced what I was doing, because I was actually making progress in the game after a year or so of not really getting far. In hindsight, like, you can get, like, now if I were to play with a specific vocation, I could probably get level 50 in like 2 days, 3 days. So, like, in hindsight, like, it wasn't that good, but at the time it was.
Contact down. I win, you lose.
But yeah, it's you know, I really wanted to be the highest level on the server, and, you know, have my friends high levels, and we just do kind of what we wanted, because I saw the other high levels doing that, and they were crazy. They were crazy strong and crazy, just out of control with their power on the server. None of those guys are really in power anymore, from what I've seen.
The specimen's still intact.
A handful of them still play, and they've been out-leveled by freaking everybody. You know, but yeah, you can have, you know, people have wars in this game when, you know, a particular group of people are the dominant power on the server, and, you know, they're just not good for the server. But it's a really fun game. And I met a great amount of people on it. Back when I played, botting was a huge issue with the game. At one stage, I myself botted. But yeah, it's all been fixed up now. They have completely eradicated bots. They did this, gosh, 21, probably like 7 years ago or something. They introduced Battle Eye, which, if you're unfamiliar, it's something that launches when your game launches, or beforehand. And if there are any third-party software connecting with that game, it will prevent the game from loading. So I'm sure there's probably some small bots that have some very minor automation on it. But for the most part, you know, bots have been completely eradicated. Which is good, because like back in the day, you know, a server would have 1,000 people on it, and all the hunting spots would be camped, like all the good ones, by botters. Which might be why it took me so, you know, why I was getting 1 level per day, because I was hunting in like really obscure places. But it was a lot different back then to how it is now. Nowadays, the server population is smaller, but instead of the servers being filled with bots, they're filled with active players, like live players that are hunting, grinding money, you know. The economy's a little bit messed up at the moment, but I think the game developers have been trying to find a way to balance it out, because there's just people just have way too much money in the game now. Back when I was really into it and really addicted to it, 1 million gold was kind of a big thing. Like it was a rare deal. You know, if you had 1 million gold, you were rich. Tibia's a free game, but with a premium aspect. So if you like, you can pay, and it, like, you know, for premium features, different access to different islands, spells, stuff like that. Just little things that just kind of really like complete the game in a sense. So like premium is about $15 Australian, kind of always has been, roughly. I think for 3 months back in the day, it used to be $30. So I guess it's gone up a little bit. It's probably $45 now. But back in the day, you could, like, someone would buy you 3 months of premium for about 100,000 gold in game. And I remember at one stage I had someone buy me premium on kind of like a layaway, in a sense. They bought me premium, and I grinded rune making to, you know, you make runes, you sell the runes to other players, and they give you gold. So I would do that until I had 100,000, and I paid off the guy that, you know, bought me my premium, and then I spent literally the rest of that time making runes for the next 3, you know, to get premium again in 3 months. Because my parents were really paranoid. They didn't want to put their like bank details online to like buy me premium myself. So like, I get it, but yeah, it was one of those things, you know, like they didn't want to because they didn't understand it at the time. Online stuff was a lot different back then, compared to how it is now. But anyway, so I had people buy it for me. There may have been occasions where I, you know, as I got older, that I would buy those, I don't know if you guys are familiar with them, but you used to be able to get, I think you still can, you can get like gift cards, like Visa gift cards. So I would buy like a $100 Visa gift card, and I would buy my premium for it, 3 months, $30, but then I'd still have, you know, $70 left. That's 6 more months of premium, 3 plus 3. So I started selling premium. After I got to a certain age, I became the premium guy. And me thinking, you know, the economic genius that I am, so I was buying premium for 100,000, but I decided to sell it for so much less. So I sold it to my friends. 3 months, 30,000. I was kind of a bit stupid with money, but at the same time, like,
Destination marked.
They were my friends, so why would I hike up the price for my friends? But like for anyone else, I would set it to about 60,000 as the undercut. So I never had a short supply of people wanting to buy premium off of me. And then I eventually I came up to a website, you know, dodgy as all hell. Like in hindsight, like I could have been scammed. I could have my payment details taken. All that kind of, you know, stuff could have happened, but it didn't. But I found a website where you could just buy money, like Tibia money, just directly using your card. So instead of like selling premium and getting, you know, let's say I wouldn't sell it to my friends one period, and I would just sell it to, you know, at full price, my full price. Sorry, hold on, just looking for these damn crystals. What the hell is this one? I have no idea where they are. I'm doing this so slow. I may have become a little bit distracted with the story. Hold on. There's one more. What the hell is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, am I gonna get it in time? Oh, that wasn't the last one? Oh, we're cooked, boys. I have no idea. I mean, it's got to be on the roof, right? That's the only place I haven't checked. Oh, it wasn't on the roof. I have no idea. It's on the side. Event's gonna end in a second. Yeah, there it goes. Fuck. Anyway, going back to my really epic story that everyone's really interested in. So, if I had sold it at full price, I would have made 120,000 in-game gold, right? Off of, you know, like $60. So basically, you know, I was getting $2, double what I was spending in a sense. But I could buy 1,000,000 gold for $70, which was perfect. I think it was just over 70, but I could get it either way. So I started doing that. Not like crazy, but like when I needed the money, like in game, I would just go onto this website, buy it, you know, boom, done. You know, it was good. It worked. I'd have 1,000,000 gold here and there, and it was really nice. But now, you know, like the way the economy's changed. Like I said, now you get 1 month is $15. So, you know, 3 months is probably, you know, $45 Australian. But you can also buy Tibia coins. You can buy for about $16. You can buy 250 Tibia coins, and Tibia coins you can trade in game legally. Back in the day, you couldn't trade that kind of stuff. You'd get banned because the game didn't want people to get scammed. What the hell is this zombie? Anyway, so yeah, you can buy 250 Tibia coins. You can sell each Tibia coin for about 30,000 each or something. You can get, sometimes depending on the server exchange rate, you can get between 4 to 7 million for $15-16 Australian now. It's fucking insane, you know? Years and years and years ago, I was spending, you know, $70, you know, $70 to $100 to get 1,000,000 gold. Now I can spend $15 and I can get that kind of paper in the game. You know, it's and in game, while the exchange, while things have gone up in price, the stuff that I used to buy has not. So like I used to spend most of my money on equipment and mana potions and runes, and none of the price for that has really gone up. If anything, it's gone down, right? There are new pieces of equipment that, you know, the much higher levels can access that costs a shitload more, you know, tens of millions of, you know, in-game gold. But I can't access that because my character's not that strong. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Additionally, like I said, on and off I've been playing this game for a really long time. you know, over a decade. I'm not even level 200.
Still had a face.
So I know World of Warcraft, I think you can get to like 75, 85, whatever it is. They have like a level cap. You play on both factions and stuff like that. You make numerous different characters, whatever. My main character is not even higher than level 200. After a decade of playing, someone that's really into the game and knows what they're doing could get level 200 in probably 3 months. You know? And realistically, like, if I started playing again properly and, like, I was playing on my main character, I could probably level up reasonably fast as well. Like, I have the resources, you know, like, I don't mind spending $15 here or there, you know, to get the money I need for resources. But, yeah, it's one of those things. I like the game, but nowadays I feel like I play it more because it's reminiscent, you know, it's what I did during my teenage years. So, it's kind of interesting. I don't really know where I was going with this in the grand scheme of things. Long story short, I'm not playing World of Warcraft with my friend because I'll get addicted to it, and I'll probably get fired from my job, break up with my girlfriend. What else would I do? I'd probably get evicted from my house because I couldn't pay for my rent. I would then be homeless, and how are you going to play your online game then? When I'm going to move to Victoria and play with my friend who got me into the game? I'm going to be his responsibility? I don't think so. So, you know, this is why I don't play World of Warcraft. Long story short.
Anomaly located.
I'm sure all that, like,
ready when you
happen. You know, even if I got addicted to it and I started calling in sick or something, I don't think I'd ever call in sick enough that, like, I couldn't pay my bills, but I would like to hope I wouldn't get to that stage. Gosh. Could you imagine though? Oof. Regular gaming, whatever happened to you when you used to stream on Twitch? Oh, well, I started playing this game off stream. Wow. And yeah, I became homeless. That question was asked rhetorically by tech guy who knows exactly what happened and is just like, you idiot. Tech guys are always judging. I think we're pretty much done on this map, by the way. The last hour has been story time with Mr. Jordan, so I hope you've enjoyed that little tale of my life. Alright, so what can we get? We've got 12k, 300 kills, you know, we're doing alright there. Can we get any armor? Sure can. Not gonna pack a punch. We could probably use, man, how quick do we reload with this Mac 10? So I saw that when I was telling a story, and I kind of paused for a second when I like, look at this reload speed. That's a wicked reload speed. I kind of want to see it with Speed Cola. Yeah, let's get it. Speed Cola and stamina up. Let's have a look. I don't know if it's that much quicker. It's supposed to be double, right? I don't know. But the Mac 10's a lot more fun when you've got Deadshot Daiquiri and Pack-a-Punch. At least on Wave 1 it was. I probably should have saved some of that money in Pack-a-Punch level 2, so I could keep one hitting things, but it is what it is. Oh god, I touched my nose in that transition, and now I need to sneeze. Oh god, just to save you guys, I'm gonna try and mute my mic. Just seeing if it's one sneeze. Sometimes I go through a sneezing fit where I'll sneeze for like 5 minutes. I think we might have been lucky. I think it might be one. I feel another one, but I'm not sure if it's gonna come. Man, who would have thought, man, you just can never touch your face. I remember when coronavirus first came out, and I was walking through supermarkets, you know, before they had the, you know, the mask mandates and stuff like that, and, you know, I read a report, you know, that, you know, the most common way that coronavirus is being transmitted is through the air and, you know, from surfaces, and, you know, you touch a surface that's contaminated, and, like, the human touches their face on average, like, I can't remember what it was, but it was a crazy amount of times per minute. And I remember being in the supermarket doing, like, my weekly food shop, and I was trying to resist the urge of touching my face because I'm in a supermarket, and it was in this moment that I realized, like, how often I touch my face just casually, you know? Like, this report seems spot on for me. I touch my face all the time. I don't know why. And this Mac 10 I feel like is going to get really underpowered. You know what's also kind of interesting is this is the run where we got like our ray gun first, like off the rip. And I've used it once. I used it to kill a Mauler once. So yeah, that was what a waste. Look, it could really come in handy later on in the wave. And because we got it so early, like I'm kind of tempted to like see how high I could go with it. Even though, like, I'm kind of, like, I'm not using a Hauer, like, I'm just kind of fudging around with, you know, the gun that I'm using. But, like, we'll use it on this Megaton here. Heck yeah. I could have Pack-a-Punched it. I didn't, but I could have. It's kind of, like, the ray gun's crazy, even when it's not Pack-a-Punched. Just bring up Stream Manager again. Oh, shit, sorry. I also noticed that when I have a ray gun, they drop so frequently. Like, they didn't drop here, but usually they do. They drop heaps frequently from, you know, orders and megatons. Crazy. I should really try and navigate a zombies session with the team, whether it just be Tech Guy or Tech Guy and WoW Guy, as you know. This obviously these aren't their names, but that's how you guys would know them after that story. So WoW Guy is Morgan. That's not his name, but in the sense of his gamer tag, that can be his name. And Tech Guy is Lauren. Lauren appeared very briefly on one of our previous streams with Sea of Thieves, when we didn't record the audio. Like my mic audio, the game audio. You might also casually see her walking behind me sometimes, in like a video or on a stream, depending on what we're doing. She plays in the same room as me, so you'll also probably hear her in the background when we're playing. She doesn't say much. There's not really much she has to say, usually. But yeah, she's like the behind the scenes kind of person for the stream. But I haven't played zombies with either of them in quite a while, kind of since I've been grinding out the camos, because I'm normally just grinding out camos. But maybe I should get them in one weekend for a run. I don't know if I'd stream it, because like usually our runs can go from between 2 to 4 hours, which for me is within stream length. Like at the moment I try to stream for between 2 to 3 hours usually. I'm happy to go longer, but I don't really like to go shorter. But it's also one of those kind of things that, yeah, I don't know if it could go really short as well, you know, so we'll see. Maybe it would be better doing a run, like, and just recording it off stream and posting it onto the channel as something a little bit extra. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to think of a way that I can upload some of these streams to the YouTube channel. The first stream that we uploaded, we actually downloaded from Twitch. And I should probably go back and see how the quality is, having downloaded it from Twitch, which would have compressed it, and then uploading it to YouTube, which will also compress it. Because I wanted to upload them raw, like the raw file that I record, to YouTube. But the file size is really high compared to my upload speed. So my upload speed is 20 megabits per second. So per hour, roughly, I can do just under 10 gigs of uploading per hour if I'm uploading at full bandwidth. The size of some of these stream videos are on average between 90 to 100 gigabytes in file size, which means I need to upload, you know, between 90 gigabytes to 100 gigabytes on my internet, you know. Let's round up and say that I can upload 10 gigabytes per hour. I can't, but let's round it up and say I can. That's a 90 gigabyte video is going to take me 9 hours of uploading non-stop, right? Now I could do that, like when I'm sleeping, but then my computer's pretty much going to be running 24/7, almost, you know what I mean? Like I'll be recording stuff, and then it'll be uploading stuff, and it won't go off, and I don't really want to use this computer for that. This computer cost a bit, so I'm still trying to think of a way to do it, because I do want the streams online, because Twitch only holds things for 30 to 60 days, and I want to kind of a little bit of a history there. So I'm thinking about ways to do it. I should go back and see what that first video was like, because that video that I downloaded from Twitch I think it was like a 2-hour stream, and it was like 6 gigs compared to like 90. But when I look at the difference in file size, there's got to be some sacrifice there. I don't know if it's in the sound, if it's in the video, if it's in the quality, but there's got to be a sacrifice somewhere. Otherwise, why the hell is my thing my file size so large? In OBS, I am recording in literally the highest quality, and that increases the file size significantly, so I could probably consider lowering that, but that might be a day of trial and error on my side to see how noticeable it is. I think the main thing that I notice when I go back and watch it is the face cam doesn't seem as clear as it does when it's live, but that could just be me being overcritical.
I am the king of pop killers.
But essentially, like I'm saying, I would like to get some of these things uploaded a little bit more regularly. But yeah, if I ended up doing a 4-hour zombie session with Morgan and Lauren, like, that's going to be at least a gigabyte. Sorry, excuse me, at least 100 gigabytes. So yeah, I don't know. I'd find a way. I think what I need to start doing is, maybe using like a laptop that I have here, like an older computer. And I do have a computer that I can set up specifically for that. But there's also the bandwidth issue, because I can't upload 10 gigabytes per hour, so a 90 gigabyte video is going to be longer than 9 hours, which means, if I set it up right before I go to bed, it's going to be going to, it's going to be nearly finished when I wake up, and I'm not going to want to end it then, because it'll be so close, but then it's going to kind of throttle the download, because my internet connection is, you can't upload heavily and download heavily at the same time. It's kind of one or the other. So we'd get some buffering if we woke up and we wanted to stream like Netflix or something like that. YouTube, whatever. So there's probably some bandwidth bandwidth limiting that I need to enable, maybe on the modem side of things. I know Chrome has some throttling that I can enable. We'll work it out. Oops, I didn't want to get that nuke. That's annoying. Oh, it's a holdout around this round.
Lie quiet now. Pow! Like an overripe mango. Jackal claims more victims.
Sorry, now that I've started talking about it, I'm just sitting here thinking about how I can do it. Instead of, you know, talking. But we're getting a lot of camos unlocked for the Mac 10, which is good because I cannot believe we've never used the Mac 10 in zombies. Like, not a single kill has been had with the Mac 10. This blows my mind. I must have leveled this up purely in Warzone. Really.
Hostile expired.
And I'm kind of bummed to be seeing, you know, Cold War ending. Like, I haven't been a huge Cold War person per se, but I think the amount of time that I've put into zombies, that combined, I think I have, like, this, Cold War is probably one of the games, Call of Duty games I've played the most. Warzone's definitely got to be up there, you know. I've dropped a lot of time into Warzone. The old Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, lots of time was dropped in those. Pretty much any Treyarch game I've dropped a lot of time into. Those games are definitely my favorite. Treyarch's definitely my favorite studio for Call of Duty. I don't mind Infinity Ward. Less of a fan of like Sledgehammer and stuff like that. Just because I never really got into their first games, but with the integration side of things, with like Vanguard and stuff, I'm sure I'll play a lot of Vanguard, especially when they release their zombie mode. Especially if you can, you know, unlock skins and zombies that you can carry over to Warzone like you can in Cold War. It actually gives me a reason to grind out some of these skins, you know, because if and when I go back to playing Warzone with Tech Guy and Morgan, we can see those skins. Probably gonna have to do this holdout soon. What are our other events? We haven't done any of the other events. Very similar to the last last map. I think we went straight to the objective first. This is actually a pretty good map for holdout. Normally I like to pop crystals because very rarely I actually manage to get a ray gun drop out of, well, I think actually Lauren did. I think she managed to get a ray gun drop out of a crystal, which might even be rarer than Ronald Reagan. I mean, you guys probably don't understand how pumped I was to see the first zombie being killed in our game, like this run, was Ronald Reagan. And not only was it like it happened on stream. That kind of shit happens off stream. Like, not that specifically, but like interesting stuff usually happens off stream, and then I'm sitting there and I'm like, fuck man, why am I not recording? Or why am I not, you know, there's no evidence that it happened. I'll tell people about it and they'll just be like, yeah, but yeah, videographic proof of it? And I'll be like, well, no. And they'll be like, then it didn't happen. You know? Pain. But we did, we got it on. And I think I've probably come across Ronald Reagan. I know they increased his, like, drop rate. Well, not drop rate, but like how often he spawns. They did increase it this year, but I think I've come across him maybe 5 times. And most times it's on the Alpine map, so yeah, I was really pumped to start this this run with it. It made me think like, hey, why don't I just do like a full run and see how far I can get since we've got a ray gun? Because normally I'll get to like wave 5 or something and then I'll really stop trying to go far. Just because the zombies start getting a bit tough to kill and it becomes kind of like I can start over and I can be getting a lot more kills a lot quicker, and that's usually the main objective of this, is to just do it quickly.
A few less to trouble.
But yeah, maybe. Right now, because we've got like 50 seconds left, I'm really trying to get as many headshots as I can before the holdout ends. I saw the new Marvel movie recently. Pretty damn good movie, I would say. Shang-Chi. I really enjoyed it.
Gave myself some breathing space.
It's been a while since there's been like at least that I've been aware of. Been a while since I've seen a really fun martial arts style movie, you know? I remember, you know, obviously a bit more mainstream, but I remember being younger and, you know, watching movies with Jet Li and Jason Statham, like The One, for example, and that got me introduced to Jet Li. And I really liked his kind of style of on-screen martial arts. So I went back and I would find some of his other movies, you know, and I would watch a lot of his stuff. You know, I watched the Once Upon a Time in China trilogy. And I bought that when I was a little bit younger in a box set, and I didn't realize at the time that it was subtitled, but I watch I watch English movies and shows with subtitles often. I don't know why, I just do. So, you know, I watched the Once Upon a Time in China trilogy with the subtitles. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. And yeah, great movies. I really enjoyed them. So it was great to kind of see. I wouldn't say it was very, you know, similar to that, but you know, it was just a fun movie, is what I'm trying to say. I'm looking forward to them doing some more with it. I'm looking forward to them doing some more with the character. It's great to see that they used an actor who really, for the most part, has been in more supporting roles. I think this was his first main lead role. And the marketing, look, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. The marketing for this movie was not great. I don't know if it's because of COVID or, you know, if they were just relying on, you know, home video release or, you know, whatever it may be. But the marketing, I wasn't very excited to go see the film based on the marketing. You know, that's why I didn't see it like, you know, release week kind of thing, like I would with, you know, like the new Thor, for example. Like when Thor comes out, I'll see it almost day one, you know. Movies come out in Australia on Thursday, you better believe I'll be seeing that Saturday or Sunday, kind of thing. But yeah, I didn't see it straight away, but it was a really good movie. I loved some of the. I want to be careful how I'm saying it, but I love some of the. I'm gonna say cultural inclusion in the film, and I don't necessarily mean the people, but you know, some of the creatures that they had in the movie were, you know, actually really well designed and really fun, and I thought it really added to the movie. Their visual effects team as well is absolutely phenomenal. Some of the VFX that they have in movies nowadays, not just, you know, the Marvel movies, but just movies in general. When you go back and you watch something from like the 80s or the 90s, and you can kind of see that it's, you know, it's fake. Stuff looks so real now. It's it's amazing, you know, with, you know, if you have enough money as a company, like the stuff that you can create, you can probably create anything. It's crazy. You know, movies back in the day would almost look like a cartoon in the sense that, you know how like back in the 90s and stuff, like Looney Tunes, for example, if there was gonna be, like if something was, a door was gonna move, the color palette would look different compared to the rest of the scene. So you knew something was gonna happen with that object or that door. That's kind of what CGI looked like back in the day to me. Like you could kind of tell that it was either a green screen or it was kind of added in post, you know, and it just, you know, they're doing the best they can with what they had, but it didn't look super convincing. Nowadays, some stuff just blends so well. I'm really looking forward to the Eternals. It's a team and a group I know very little about, but as with a lot of Marvel, DC movies, it's, you know, something I'll look into a little bit beforehand to get a, you know, familiarize myself with some of the characters. It's also a group that I'll probably look into quite a bit afterwards. Once I kind of know which characters I like, and, you know, we have a direction of where they're going with their story. I'll be kind of curious, you know, hey, look, what is this character's story and biography like in the comics, kind of side of things. So it was a fun movie. Would highly recommend if you haven't seen it, and if you do go see it, I would recommend it in the cinema. I know a lot of people are really getting into the home movie side of things, but you know, I'm a little bit of a film purist in the sense that I think, you know, there's nothing wrong with home cinema and home media. I know a lot of people look at it at, you know, they don't have to pay overpriced fees for candy and popcorn and drinks and confectionery essentially, but at the same time, you know, like that's, for me, that's the cinematic experience in a sense. You know, and I guess there's two sides to the opinion, but I love the cinema. So I enjoy watching things in the comfort of my own home, and, you know, being able to sit there and whatever I want and eat whatever I want, and, you know, pause it if I need to, and all of that kind of stuff. But I can always do that afterwards. You know what I mean? A theatrical run for most movies is only, you know, between, you know, 45 to 90 days, depending on the movie. Typically, I think. So once it's out of the cinema, I know stuff gets re-released, like Avatar, Avengers, stuff like that. But for the most part, once it's out of the cinema, that's your opportunity to watch it at the cinema gone. You know? I can always watch something at home. Plus, you know, for especially for a lot of the Marvel movies, for me, it's kind of become like a father-son bonding thing, because I go and see almost every movie, like a Marvel movie, at the cinema with my dad. You know, so depending on how long Marvel goes on for, you know, Marvel could outlive my dad. You know, and Marvel, you know, if I ever have a son of my own, Marvel could be still doing their cinematic universe when it's me and my son, you know, and I could be like, look, I explained to my kid, look, hey, I did this with my dad when I was a kid, or a teenager, and now we're doing it. So yeah, it's like a bonding thing. So the cinemas, I've always loved the cinema. I never got to go when I was a kid. My parents really couldn't afford it. They probably could have, but they chose, I guess, to pay for things like electricity and water over going to the cinema. But every now and again, we'd get to go to the cinema. You know, if there was something maybe my mother wanted to see, we'd get to go watch that. Or, you know, if I go and, you know, spend a weekend at Morgan's or something like that. You know, his mum was a lot more flexible with, you know, the stuff that they'd spend money on. So, you know, I'd go over there, and just to get some peace, I think she'd sometimes send us to the cinema or something like that, you know? So, yeah, I didn't get to go quite as often when I was a kid, so once I started working and I had my own income, it was definitely something that I took advantage of, and used to, you know, would go and see more frequently. especially, you know, once I started working, I would see pretty much every major release in the cinema. Sometimes I would go even when it was just myself. You know, if I remember my first job was at McDonald's, and I would work, I think 10 until 2, and then I would come back at 4 until 7, because I would do like the closing shift as well. Because I was really young, they took advantage of being, you know, cheap labor, which makes sense. So yeah, they would use me for close and during the day, but there was that 2-hour gap, and I would usually go down and watch a movie. I would never be able to fit in a full movie. The walk alone would take me 10, 15 minutes, I think, from the McDonald's that I worked at to where the cinema was. I don't even know if that cinema's still there. I know the brand that it used to be is no longer there. It used to be a Greater Union Cinema, and they are almost all shut down here in my state. But yeah, so I would go watch a movie. I wouldn't get through the whole thing. Often I would just fall asleep, because I would usually catch, you know, because I would work usually Monday to Friday back then. This was pretty much right after my tibia phase, when I stopped, like when I didn't complete school that year and I stopped going after that meeting. My mom was like, you gotta get a job. So I got a job flipping burgers. Which is funny, because at McDonald's you don't actually flip burgers. But anyway, yeah, so I would be working about Monday to Friday, a lot of hours for a kid that age, but it was almost kind of like punishment. But because I would, you know, go to the same session time, you know, between 2 to 4, I would be seeing the same movie over and over again. I think I just wanted sometimes somewhere to sit and sleep. But yeah, so I would fall asleep watching the movie. But yeah, they definitely have a good spot in my past, and I think I'll always enjoy them. So yet again, kind of got a little bit sidetracked, but long story short, if you can, check it out at the cinema. Make a date of it, go with some friends, have a good time. Because if coronavirus has taught me anything, the cinema is probably potentially on its final leg. I know it's a huge business, but if they can find a way to make home cinema or home movie releases more profitable, they might just stop doing it altogether, theatrically. I know, you know, there's people that, you know, like let's use Black Widow for an example. That released day 1 on Disney Plus, the same time it came out in the cinema, and a lot of people, I'm sure, shared accounts and stuff like that. And Disney gave it a 30-day premiere, so if you bought it, you know, in Australia, I think it was like $30, you had access to it for 30 days. I think in future you'll probably start seeing a smaller window, you know, in that sense that, like, if you buy it, you'll have maybe, similar to YouTube, you'll have like 48 hours to watch it after you've opened it up and started watching it, to prevent people from sharing it. Or, a little bit, probably even more controversial, they might even introduce it that once you've played it, like once you've started the movie, that's it. Like, you can pause it, but you can't play it again. You know, like it's a one purchase type thing, which would be very similar to the cinema in the sense that you buy a ticket, you can only use that ticket once. If an emergency comes up and you have to leave the cinema, similar to like if an emergency comes up at home and you have to, you know, stop the movie, you have to buy it again. You know, maybe under that they might make it cheaper. You know, $30 would be a bit expensive for that. But like, I know people that have 5 people in their houses and they're paying $30 to watch one movie, and it's, you know, for families that don't have a large income, like, that's great that they can watch the movie. They don't have to wait for it to come out on local TV or anything like that. That's great for them, but for people that can afford it, it's kind of like, I wouldn't call them rich people, but it's wealthier people or people in, you know, middle class positions, basically, you know, being able to take advantage of the situation. You know, and I want the movies and their companies, I know they're billion-dollar companies, but I want them to be able to continue making their money because they are the ones that make the content. So, yeah, I want it to be, I guess I want it to be balanced. I want it to be fair for, you know, low-income families that can't afford to take 5 children and an adult to the cinema, and it costs them, you know, $100 in tickets to see one movie. I'd like it to be balanced for them, but, you know, for the working class that can afford to go to the cinema, you know, say it's like a group of 10 teenagers that all work, or 10, excuse me, young adults that all work, you know, a $15 ticket, which is what it is in Australia, isn't that bad, you know. So yeah, it's definitely above my pay grade. Like, they have people with, you know, business degrees and decades of experience that will make those decisions, but there's got to be a balance between releasing it theatrically, releasing it on home media, but also still turning a profit. You know, I'm looking at the latest Marvel movie. It cost, you know, between 150 to 200 million to make. Then you've probably got a budget for marketing of about another 100 million, putting the overall budget to, you know, between 300 to 350 million dollars to make this movie. And box office wise, it's made, I think, $360 million so far, you know. And I'm just kind of like, I remember hearing on an audio commentary once, I don't remember which one, so take it with a grain of salt, but I remember hearing that for a movie to be profitable and for it to spawn franchises, sequels, and, you know, for it to be considered successful, it needs to make double what the the budget is. You know, back in the day, if your budget was 100 million, you needed to make at least 200 million to be considered successful, because your marketing isn't included usually in what, you know, the reported budget. You know, so if the latest Marvel movie, Shang-Chi, cost, you know, 250 million, roughly 200 million to make, it needs to make at least 400 million to be successful, you know, box office wise. The reviews for the movie are, you know, great, and you can tell, you know, that they're going to continue with the franchise either way. I think that some, you know, companies at the moment, they're open to taking a loss to develop a character in a franchise, which is bold. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's got to be a bit of a balance. We might head to the anomaly, guys. We're Pack-a-Punch 2. Man, I really just started ranting about such weird things on this stream. Cinema, World of Warcraft, Tibia. It's been an interesting stream for me. Sorry, just messaging tech guy. Lauren's, you know, getting ready to leave the house. She's got work today. I guess you could say we both have work today because, you know, I'm grinding out the stream, grinding out the content, but she won't consider that work. So, but either way, she's normally I stream on a Tuesday towards the 6 o'clock Australian time. That's usually what time, like 6 p.m. is when Lauren will actually start work, so it makes it a little bit easier, because I can't, you know, just sit here texting Lauren or anyone else while I'm streaming, or, you know, recording a video off stream or anything like that. Like, you know, it's just, A, it's rude to the people that are watching, B, when I'm watching someone and they do it, I hate it. So I couldn't, you know, I couldn't do that. But what I'll do is I'll set up this transition, and then we might take like a 3 to 5 minute break. You just have to bear with me. I want to say goodbye to, you know, Lauren. I want to go to the bathroom.
restock my drink, just get ready because we might be going for a little bit longer. Like I said, because of this ray gun. What I might start doing soon is just focusing purely on objectives, get everything pack-a-punch, and then just go for the main objective. You know, like I'm making kind of dumb mistakes, like I didn't buy my 3rd level armor. I didn't upgrade my ray gun, even though I've got money for it, so we're making a few mistakes. So we'll say goodbye to Lauren, do what we need to do, bear with me, 5 minutes max, and I'll be back. Alright guys, we're back. Hopefully that wasn't too much longer than 5 minutes, but, you know, we're back. Alright, we're going to focus more on objectives. We're going to definitely get our armor upgraded and get this ray gun pack-a-punched. And we're going to see how far we can go really quickly, though. You know, we're an hour and 44 in, so it's too early for me to really stop. Which is kind of good, because I kind of want to smash out a few waves. I used to want to smash out waves for the Ethereum, but like I was mentioning before, it's not like the Ethereum is going anywhere. You know, I don't get any.
Threat neutralized.
So we're gonna head up to the pack-a-punch up here.
Your call to take the shot.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in the Hind. I probably should be, actually. My freaking gun is like trash. Do you reckon I could hit it? I don't know if we're gonna hit that. We did.
A solid kill.
You reckon that'll drop in the zone? I don't know. We kind of do need some scrap to level up our Mac 10. Oh, I reckon that dropped out. Oh, no way. It must have. Oh, it dropped in. The game must have forced it to drop here. But yeah, our Mac 10 is like grade, like red, which means it's like the lowest grade possible. I'll give the Crystal Event a try, because I do need a little bit more money to get the Pack-a-Punch ray gun level 3, but we'll see how it goes. I essentially need 60,000. I've got freaking 1,000. Where are we looking? So it doesn't look like any of them are actually up here. That one. That one. Last time we did this, we didn't get a lot of our crystals, which means we didn't get our ether tool, which is why we're in this position where we need a lot of scrap. I wish I knew exactly how many crystals were in an event. I reckon there's like one more, maybe. Yeah, nice. Oh, that saved us a little bit of scrap, but it's the cheap scrap that it saved us, so it's not really saved us much at all. Alright, let's head to the... We're gonna head to the transport. The armor guy is on the way, so we'll level up our gun a little bit. And we'll level up our armor level 3. Transport is, in my opinion, one of the easiest ones. But we're taking some damage. We don't even have Juggernaut. I think I'm going past it now. I need to get Juggernaut. I'm being a bit of an idiot. So I can't believe I don't have Juggernaut. Let me just kill what's here and I'll double check exactly where the perk machine is. Zombies, they never stop coming.
When they dead have nightmares, they dream of me.
Oops. Alright, so we need to go here.
Move on my waypoint.
That's right, it's in this little house over here. Alright, we've got Juggernaut. It'll give us a little bit more health. I actually really love the fire rate of the Mac 10 when I'm slaying zombies. It's got a good clip size, and like it just sounds great when you're shooting them. Like there's a big train of them. We'll do this dragon event as well. I'll go up to... it's a crafting bench. I think our guys just past this dragon. Yeah, just up here. We'll get our armor 3 before we do the event. Let's level this gun up a little bit. Wow, we still, even after the chopper, we still don't have enough scrap to get this to purple
Enemy
rank.
appears KIA.
That's kind of mind-blowing to me. Really annoying. But that's alright. Let's start trying to pump this into speedrun territory.
I'm so brave, fly.
I mean, if I was ever going to do a speedrun on a zombies game, this one would have been the game. When your RNG is that crazy that you get a ray gun first drop, like, man, I mean, that's a speedrun game right there. How many other people are going to get a ray gun that quickly and, you know, are going to be able to mow through events and shit like that so quickly? Right? Like, no one. Like, people would probably, like, you'd get to the point where I reckon people would probably think that it's got to be a private game that, like, it was set up. But you guys saw me load it up on stream, so you know it's not. Well, it is a private game, but we didn't change any of the, you know, parameters or anything like that. I realized as I was saying goodbye to Lauren that we got ourselves some sushi for lunch today. Can't wait. Man, we've done 2 events, right? And we've made like 5,000 gold. We're on wave 3. Alright, let's just go to the transport. I feel like I'm just wasting time right now. Megaton, I'm gonna kill you. Alright, let's keep on keeping on.
Strauss, we've located the harvest transport. And what's left of your men.
That is unfortunate. I hope your team possesses the intelligence my own did not.
Transport is normally fine on this map. The only time it gets really annoying is after you've harvested the second canister, it spawns a frickin' Tempest that almost always hits the truck. And it's really, really annoying. Because, you know, your truck slows down, you gotta get out, into the Tempest.
Do not be shy.
It's a whole thing.
Extraction is an intimate process. The Vortex's magnetic field has disabled the transport. Power will return once collection is complete. In the meanwhile, I trust you can protect the harvester.
Let the vultures fill their bellies.
Alright, UAV's got a lot of hostiles inbound. I don't know why this guy ran all the way to that side. They must have pre-delegated sections of the truck they have to work on. This is why the zombies fail. They just waste time. They're like a James Bond villain. They're just dead. Alright, we're done here.
One to go.
We're gonna go through the town.
Get into position so we may begin. We cannot let the vortex dissipate.
For a second I thought it was gonna stick my truck right there. Alright, we're in. The truck's not really in, but it's in.
Death comes for us all. You first.
Extraction at 65%.
Jackal is on fire.
Extraction at
Be warned, the harvesters were not designed for primordial Ethereum. Containment failure is likely. Get them to the delivery site.
There's that damn Tempest. I'm already stuck on this damn corner. Yep, ready? Missed us there. Missed us there. Oh, wow. What an RNG session we're in right now. Oh, he got us. I fucking jinxed it. Alright, well, he's dead.
You are pushing it now.
Alright, we're up to 750 critical kills in our first run. It's not bad. About just under a third of the way there. We've kind of turned this run from less of a camo grind now with the ray gun to like how far can we go? I don't know. We'll find out.
Primordial
That
Ethereum
is
secure,
this
Requiem
objective
controller.
done.
You may
There's a
proceed
black
with
box, but
launch.
we're actually not going to do that.
Launch sequence
So we actually managed to get through it pretty quickly.
launching in 3.
I also heard one of those radio broadcast frequencies as I was gliding then, but we're not going to do that either. That just gets you a tape.
Show good burnout. Rocket on course for delivery.
Surely if the anomaly is going to be here, right?
Unlocking the secrets of the Dark Aether.
Right?
Well done, you.
Hey!
Site identified.
When you know you've been playing zombies way too much. Alright, let's get out of here. So we're pretty much saving up for Pack Punch 3 for either the Mac or the ray gun. I'm thinking the ray gun is going to be really handy, but we'll see.
This is Dr. Strauss.
We're just going to go straight to the secure.
Conversion modules
There's a
are
couple of
set for
easy events
deployment.
here. But I'm just going to go straight to the secure. Man, how slow is this?
Drop zone.
Freaking. Let's get a gun, that's probably why. We'll change it for this raft.
The ECM is capable of transforming essence into a dark ether object. So far, this process can only be completed within an outbreak zone.
Drop zones identified. Commencing with firing sequence. Firing in 3.
I'm pretty sure they'll be on this ship over here.
1.
The modules have been deployed. Observe the skies to see where they fall.
Yeah, okay, now we're starting to really start to... I feel like I've been playing zombies too long.
Get clear! That exhaust has killed far more intelligent people than you. You may proceed with extraction
reload
once
time
the
is
plasma field
crazy
has
on
been
this gun.
deployed.
Love it.
Establishing plasma field perimeter.
Alright, this actually shouldn't be a really hard or long event.
Plasma field
We'll do this,
perimeter
we'll head over to
established.
that ship there, and that should be where the anomaly is, and then we're done.
Now begins the essence collection.
Now, the anomaly can spawn on two different areas on that ship. It can spawn either on the closer end, like right there, or it can spawn on the farther end. Doesn't really matter. We'll just head over to the ship, and by then it'll pop.
Essence capacity at 75%.
Got splattered.
Essence capacity at maximum.
The Mac-10's not looking so hot against the maulers, but probably get it smashed out. Strong and get a pack punch in a moment.
There's still much to
Get
learn
that
about
built
this
out
process.
a
Secure
little
the
bit. The ray gun
object
really doesn't
and the
need to be
other
stronger
modules.
at this point. I'm not really worried about pack punching that to level 3 yet. But my Mac-10 could be a little bit stronger. Let's clear out all these guys. It's almost like whippersnipping.
Essence capacity at 0.5%.
Whippersnipping some grass around the, you know. This rocket is like my tree stump and I'm just whippersnipping zombies around it.
Essence capacity at 75%.
Getting a couple of critical hit kills, which is
Essence
still
capacity
important.
at maximum.
We're gonna disciple. A couple of disciples. That's all done.
Conversion complete.
Alright, that's the event done.
Unfortunately for you, the study of raw essence is currently
We get
restricted
things
to
to
the
kill.
outbreak zone.
Not really gonna be that relevant.
I am working on that problem.
We're good enough for the pack punch, which is good. Now, again, I know there's tons of events that I could be doing, right? You know,
Head for the beacon
I'm not doing
team.
them. We're just gonna push through everything. See how quickly we can bang out some waves. Alright, let's repair armor. We still have a self-revive, and we'll get you to 3. You know what? Let's give you napalm as well. And let's move. So that's a pretty quick wave. Lucky that it was a secure event. Secure events are just like transport, they're really easy. It can be complicated later on, you know, when stuff starts hitting you really high, but you know, I think we were just wave 4, I think. But yeah, they're really easy on the lower waves.
Requiem disruptors.
What do we got? Eliminate HVT. Alright, this one should be really easy for us as well. I'm just gonna go grab a snowmobile
Get the dimensional disruptor operational.
and move on. The ray gun being pack bonus level 2. The HVT, I mean, it really depends on what kind it is. If it's one of those Cransies, they're really armored, so the ray gun will just shred through that. But if it's a Mimic, it'll be a little bit more durable for the ray gun, but I mean, it's a ray gun, it's going to blow through it anyway. The Megaton would probably be the most annoying
That is my street of
high value target.
Once activated,
Alright,
the
here we go.
disruptor finds apex target.
Get rid of some of these guys while we're waiting for it to spawn.
Dark Aether.
We still do want... Yeah, you can feel they're getting stronger. We still do kind of want to be getting our critical kills where we can. It's just less of a desire. It should spawn somewhere near here.
Firing in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. We got our chopper gunner as a backup should we get into any real trouble. Oh, it's a mangler. Oh, this should be pretty easy.
Looks like it's not alone.
It's gonna tear through its armor. Yep, it's out of here. It's wave 1 done. See, the mimics are a little bit more durable to the ray gun, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Target reacquired northeast of your position.
Blow him out of here. What do we got on us? Lots. It's okay. Alright, we got heavies. The ray gun will make short work of them. I just want to get him to the point where he's not going to run anymore. Alright, he's out of here. Alright, so we're pretty much nearly done.
Got him on the run now. Get after it. Target reacquired northwest of your position.
Oh, he's behind us. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. He'll start slowly coming to us as well. We're coming to him. Just do a quick reload. We are going to kill these zombies because, like, critical kills and all. We're not really, like, getting too many critical kills, but we also need just normal kills. So. It's just a heavy populated area with zombies here, so I don't want to get, like, surrounded too much, especially by these idiots. But we'll finish this up now. Got a ray rifle.
Our work is done here.
From watching some other people, I'm warming up to the ray rifle because of its secondary kind of shot. But at the moment, I'm old school and stick with the ray gun.
Strike team.
The anomaly 400 roughly meters away. We'll probably take a snowmobile and move on to wave 6. Now the only tricky thing that we'll probably come across... Oh yeah, I mean, how can I not kill the order, right? I'll probably burn through this as well. The only tricky thing that we might come across is a holdout. You can't really speed up a holdout round, just because they're 3 minutes, you know, and the ray gun only does so much in a holdout round because there's so much coming at you, and eventually the zombies just get so much health that, you know, oops, it doesn't really matter what you use. Oh, we actually got a crazy amount of stuff here.
They do not have
Just need to regenerate some health. I might have to buy the quick revive perk just to increase our health regen rate. So he should be dead in this clip. That'll get rid of a lot of the small zombies. Not the bigger one, unfortunately. Oh, there goes our llama. Alright, so I didn't actually get rid of a lot of the zombies, but we'll trim them out now. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Grab some armor.
Will you learn not to rush at me?
Max ammo, get some scrap. Just get rid of these little megaton splits.
I like it, challenge. It makes your death more
Alright.
satisfying.
Ballistic knife, that'd have been fun. Oh, look, another ray gun. Told you they drop more frequently when you've already got one. It's like a magnet. Alright, let's grab this snowmobile. I think one of them actually blew up. Yeah, it did. We got a challenge completed for that, so it's kind of glad. I'm glad that they didn't blow both of them up. Okay, could have gone left, I could have gone right, and I went straight into the damn rock. Alright, let's just get off from here. Our driving sucks. Okay. Didn't even drop any loot. Like, what was the point? We got enough for our ray gun, excuse me, packer punching, and for quick revive, so... Where'd you come from? We'll go ahead and do that. Where is the... There it is. Alright, we're as strong as can be. Armor. Alright, moving on to wave 6. So I would say we're kind of burning through this in these waves in like maybe 5-7 minutes. I wouldn't say it's like world record time or anything, but you know.
Weaver, our recon rover
Escort,
is ready to
another
begin
easy
dimensional
event.
research transfer.
We'll just go straight to it. We're not messing around. We'll probably one-hit this guy. Will we? Nearly.
Tougher than most, but not much for the Jackal.
Yeah, the ray gun's just crazy strong at this point. It should be like pretty overpowered for another couple of waves, and then it'll start becoming a 2-hit kill, but if you shoot the ground, it's an area of effect damage. So it's still pretty strong if you can use it right, because you can damage more than... You can kill more than one zombie at a time. Damage on our ray gun... sorry, our Mach 10's becoming a bit more of an issue. I don't really want to waste my time with these little guys, in a sense, but... Like, this guy's just chipping away at my armor. Back on we go. How do I kill that disciple?
They smell worse when they
If you're not familiar, the main reason we're aiming in and out over and over and over again is because it recalibrates the Deadshot daiquiri to aim at their critical area. So, yeah. It's annoying, but it, like, to kind of watch me just kind of like in and out, it's less annoying with like a gun like this, I guess, with no scope. But yeah, it's the quickest way to get kind of critical kills that I can think of. Trust me, I play a lot of zombies. I'm not going to say I'm an expert and I know everything, but I know enough about like what works for me. The reload time on this SMG though is it's almost the best I've seen. We're just going to use this. Make everything a little bit quicker and easier. Do we have an order? Always an order on this map. I don't... we're going to have to fight these guys. I don't really want to fight the order, but... The escort should actually go away from the order, but you never know. Where's the last guy? It's a disciple.
cannot Don't even touch
So yeah, aiming at the gun or like hitting a zombie square on is going to cause that AoE damage. I'm gonna try and go in here and grab some armor without triggering the auto, but we'll see. Definitely gonna need armor after this. Where do these zombies come from? Hellhounds.
target dropped.
Well, we are in the vicinity of the... Yeah, we are in the vicinity of the order, but hopefully because we're going away from it, it'll be easier. Just realized that escort's actually over here. So it should come down this road and turn left, if my memory serves me correctly. Yeah, we're so dead, Tempest. When I can hit you. There's quite a lot of batches of elite zombies here. Say goodbye to my freaking armor. Jerks. More stuff coming up. I really hate the heavy zombies. SMGs just, they're not it in a bit with the heavy zombies. They're so armored up. Oh, I don't really need that. Alright, let's get this show on the road.
Make sure the rover crosses a dimensional threshold. Any intel it recovers will be key to our understanding how the Dark Aether affects organic matter.
Thankfully, we have the ray gun, which is just great against armored anything. Absolutely melts it. And we have our ability, so we do still technically have like full armor in the pocket. You know what, this Mac 10, I think we may almost have to go just pure ray gun soon. It's just not doing it at a distance. Which is kind of fine to know, because normally, like I said earlier, normally when we're doing camo grinds, we don't go past really wave 5. Because that's usually, you know, at least with the SMGs, they start becoming very ineffective at the later rounds, and you tend to, you know, be shooting the zombies a lot, as opposed to like just one tapping them in the head. You know, so yeah, we'll see. The napalm's definitely helping here. Come on, keep going, buddy. I haven't picked up a single lethal or support item.
Approaching anomaly. Scanning for stable energy transfer. Stable breach detected.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get as far as we can go. When we die, and we call it a day there. I think the highest round I've been to on outbreak mode, when I'm playing with other people and stuff like that, might have been 14 or 15. Dude, he's afraid of apples. I don't know what my highest is playing solo. Can't imagine it's too much better though. And sometimes getting the higher waves, for me at least, is just more RNG with what the overall objective is. You know, if you get a holdout on wave like, you know, 10, 14 or something, like forget about it, you're done. For me anyway. I know there's a guy, you know, there's people out there that have gotten to like wave 100 on outbreak mode. That's crazy. You know, they spend 12 hours grinding it out. That's crazy. I'd love to see someone do it now, you know, with some of the newer perks, some of the new like level 5 tiers of things. It'd be really interesting to see how they've done it, especially with like some of the more updated nerfs they have in the game as well. You know, back when, you know, people did the 100 runs, I think that was when Outbreak first came out. and it wasn't heaps balanced. Now it's a little bit different. So I'd love to see someone do an updated run of that. That'd be good. Maybe I should start that up after we finish the camo grind. Trying to get to, you know, web 25, 50, 75. Try and make a little series of it. See if we can just beat our PR each run.
Scanning structural stability of anomaly.
Just trying to think of how much longer, you know, how much longevity Outbreak's really going to have after Vanguard comes out. I guess it really depends on how long it takes Vanguard to pump out the zombies mode. Vanguard comes out at the beginning of November. Warzone's going to pump its map out sometime before the end of the year. And then, in and amongst all that, Vanguard's got to push out a zombies mode made by Treyarch, so
We still need to find a
that'd be
stable
interesting.
breach. Continue escort.
Alright, so we should just be going down to that bridge, and then we're done. Alarm has just cracked. I'm hoping we can fend off the horde. Just so I can use I can just buy armor instead of, yeah, we got tons of scrap. Instead of trying to use our ability to get more armor. Keep on going, buddy. What have we got coming? I wonder how long it's taken us to kill a heavy, like how many bullets to kill a heavy zombie. What are we, 133? Eh, it's not actually too bad. Thought it was a bit worse. Maybe I wasn't hitting those shots well.
I think this is it. That breach should be the one.
One
Now
last
we got a
push. We can
megaton.
finish this.
He thinks he's going to be difficult. He's not. We'll just keep our ray gun out for this whole thing. We'll just shred the little zombies. Insta-kill's going to make this even easier.
That bastard was no trouble
Yeah,
there.
we need the tool. Heck yeah. Yeah, I think we bugged out one of the megatons.
So that's satisfied.
Look at this dude. He is fucked.
Escort required.
He's
for
fucking done.
operation.
Petrified. Change my gamer tag to the Basilisk.
Dimensional transport.
Alright, that's done. Man, no cap though? This guy
Rover has
is
crossed the
cooked.
breach. Great, do you still have it?
Stable data link established.
I'm gonna take the
Payload
symbol
is in the
monkey because that
Dark
might come in
Aether.
handy.
Thanks for the escort.
I'm just waiting for the anomaly to appear and then we'll stop looking at this ugly mug.
Ready when you are.
Another ray gun, ray rifle. Alright, where is it? 300 meters. I'm just gonna grab one of these bikes. That zipline was probably really unnecessary, but you know, we did it. Alright, let's go. I was just checking to see if our anomaly was near the order. It's not, which is good. We don't have all the perks. I think we're missing like Mule Kick, but we've got Quick Revive, Juggernog, Dead Shot, Death Perception, oops, Stamina Up. So we've got the ones that I kind of really want. I don't really mind about Mule Kick. I don't really use 3 guns normally. What are we missing? Mule Kick and Elemental Pop. Yeah, I don't really care about those. Yeah, they are coming. No way. Idiot. Mess with us? Stupid ass zombies. Yeah, I think we're good. Everything's pack-a-punch. Okay. Man, warm Red Bull just doesn't hit the same as warm V. Alright, what's our event now?
Field ops. I have lost
Retrieve.
contact with one of my
Shouldn't be that
Ethereum
bad.
harvesters. Requesting strike.
Sometimes the retrieves can get a little bit sticky
Copy that. Strike team inbound to their last known location.
because it's more of actually no, the retrieves are easy. So I'm thinking of the defend. As long as we can kill like elite zombies at a decent rate, we should be pretty good. There's got to be there's an order on this map as well. Yeah, quickly the zombies just mowed through our freaking health though. Yeah, we are taking damage like crazy, man. It's gonna be pure, almost pure ray gun from this point out. Just keep in mind that we may not get as high as I might normally if I was moving a little bit slower. I'm just trying to smash it out.
Looks like the undead
Just got
got
something in
here
my eyes.
before
Just
us.
bear with me a little minute.
My team will finish the
Give
job.
us a chance to kill all
I
these.
only hope your
Still
team
there.
is less fragile than my own.
So there's quite a lot of zombies converging on us. This might make it a little bit easier. Play zombies one-handed for a second. Oh god, that feels so nice. Alright. Stop messing around.
The Aetherium has loaded into the extraction rock.
Move quickly. Low quality Ethereum is worthless to me. And you.
Oh no, what is that? Is that a Kranzy? Where is it? It's a Megaton. God damn it. We do kind of have to fight this because he'll chase us to the end of the earth. We should have plenty of time. As long as there's not a Megaton and stuff waiting at the next one, we should be okay. Man, our ammo is just taking it. Armor is just taking a massive hit. We've got our insta-kill, so I'm just going to start with use the Mac 10 for a second. That's not it. That's it. The Mac 10 with its fire rate will just cut through anything here.
Ethereum
We
sample acquired.
really needed that armor, so that's great.
Besides being quite heavy, Ethereum emits weak radiation.
Now we'll start making our way back.
Impair your vision and movement.
Got a Mimic, our insta-kill's gone. I think, can't really tell. We're taking some damage. Siphon didn't die. I'm not really worried about zombies here too much. We'll be in and out. We have 3 minutes to purge B, so we did that in 2 minutes, so that shouldn't be too bad at all. Pretty much full ammo. Another insta-kill would have been sick though. Oh, I thought for a minute insta-kill, right? How could I not? This guy's just followed us all the way. Stalker much. Alright, we have got the Ethereum. Something big just spawned behind us, but we'll get rid of this and then focus on that, I guess.
All
Make it
Aetherium
time.
samples have been collected. Ready for launch.
Requiem
Oh,
control.
it might have
you may
despawned actually.
begin launch
Wicked.
sequence.
Alright, well, now we just head to the next area.
Systems go. Launching in 3, 2, 1. Satellite shows successful launch, trajectory plotted. Package is en route.
Well done. I never doubted the fact that I was in the most capable of hands.
Anomaly located. Ready when you are.
Alright, let's go. So we'll move on to round 8 in a minute. We've got to have a defend one coming up soon. The problem with defend at this rate level is the zombies hit really hard, so they do a lot of damage to whatever I'm trying to defend. But it is what it is. This guy can just kind of soak me. I'm not going to beat him much longer. Like that right there, like I lost half an armor, like half a plate because of one hit. It's a lot of damage. So we're on Alpine. Could be transport. Could be holdout. Could be defend in the hangar. It's transport. That should be pretty easy. Alright, let's just head straight to it. It's pretty far away, so we might just take a ride. Damn, we're not even high enough still. That's crazy. Oh, we saved ourselves a couple 100 meters. We'll probably end around here somewhere. I love that they brought the ray gun back.
Keep your distance or suffer the consequences.
A lot of dogs on the way here. Wow, see that zombie there took 2 hits. Oh, that's what I'm not looking forward to. Zombies on wave 8. Alright, we're here.
Strauss, we've located the harvest transport. And what's left of your men.
Your team must complete the work.
Alright, let's try and smash this out as quickly as we can. Look, I say transport's easy, but I have had close calls where like my truck's either gotten stuck or something's happened right at the end and like I'm nowhere near the area to deposit the Dark Aether. You know, like I've had some close calls.
Vortex located. Get into position and we shall begin.
So we're not really going to mess around with the Mac 10 on these waves. I mean, if my ray gun's not strong enough, the Mac 10 definitely won't be.
Once all the primordial Ethereum is harvested.
Oh, I've got a megaton already? No way. Hopefully this gets destroyed once we finish harvesting here. If not, man. That's not good. These guys do heaps of damage. Compared to the just regular zombies. Doesn't matter, I guess he's dead.
Bravo! That's one done.
How we doing health-wise? Yeah, we're doing okay. I hate getting through this foresty bit. I always mess this up. Maybe it's easier if I just go straight here. Right? Follow the path around and follow this road. Normally I try and go through the trees and I get like stuck, and when you get stuck and you've got a whole bunch of zombies hitting you, that's when you start really taking some damage. This actually seems like a much better route. I'll have to remember that for next time. Alright, here we go again. Oops, we're taking lots of damage, not the truck. We're weaker than the truck, we're weaker than the truck, what's hitting me? Another Megaton, sick. I think that said 75% for the extraction. Stupid Megaton's doing the head in. Oh, I didn't destroy the Megaton? No way. We're actually good health-wise, so we're just gonna drive on. I was really hoping the Megaton would get kind of like blown away with the other zombies when we finish the bit, so this is why I don't drive through trees. I suspect a Tempest, sorry, should appear soon. Yep, there it is. Hopefully, oh man, the most accurate Tempest ever. First shot just destroyed us. Where is he? There's usually only ever one Tempest, so once you kind of get rid of it, you're good. Once we get to the launch area, it's not really too much of an issue, because you can use the Ethereum itself to kind of get rid of the zombies. Like this. And then you just kind of load it up, the zombies will respawn, and you just do it again with the other one, really. And that should be it, really. Anything that hits us now is going to get blown up. Yep, we're good.
Control,
Alright. Hopefully the anomaly's not all the way up there. Hopefully it's just around the corner. Because that's where I'm heading.
Satellite confirms the rocket is en route to delivery site.
Target confirmed as Omega. You're authorized to engage.
Primordial Ethereum is a rare commodity. Energy
Hopefully it's
research
just here.
thanks
We'll see.
you for
Oh,
your
it's not.
assistance.
It's over here.
Beacon location has been identified.
Even with not doing any of the side objectives, we've got 2 fully pack-a-punched weapons, we've got all the perks that we want, and we've still got 100k just sitting there. Just goes to show you how like irrelevant the side missions can be sometimes. Alright, we'll just restock our armor and level up our gun. We don't really need to, but we will. We're not using it really that much anymore, but Armada. This could actually be a defend. Armada. Most of the times that I play on this map, it's a defend. And it's usually on the far ship from where we spawn. It's usually all the way over there. Retrieve. I can handle a retrieve. We kind of get low-key, we're kind of getting pretty lucky with these objectives.
My team's already en route, Dr. Strauss.
Retrieve isn't too bad. I used to hate it when I used to like run it, like I did on the other map. But when you grab a vehicle, it's not too bad.
Damn. Looks like we're too late. Strike team, finish harvesting the Aetherium. Recover the Aetherium and load it into the extraction rocket.
I only hope your team proves less fragile than my own. Make haste,
Just
strike
speed
team.
running
Ethereum
it
degrades
right now.
quickly. Purge the unit in order to release the canister.
I was really hoping I could just jump that. Alright, killing all this might be a little bit more tricky. Where do we have to go? All the way up top. Gotcha. Especially when I'm not locking onto the right zombies. Stuff behind us. Forcing your way into it, in my opinion, is probably the worst thing you can do. If you've got zombies, sometimes you've just got to go a little bit slower. They only have X amount of zombies kind of defending it. Once you've got it, you can just kind of like jump overboard, the zombies won't really follow you. And then you can kind of recover your health, your armor if you wanted to. I'm not going to do armor yet. But yeah, you're on your way. You've just got to grab it. safely. That's the main thing. What do we got over here? Is this a megaton? Oh, it's a cransy. Could probably just kill that. I'm just gonna fight a little bit of this here. Just because I want to get rid of this cransy. Because I gotta bring another one back here. Yeah. I didn't want to use that then. Oh man, I really don't want to go down either. No one ever does. I wanted to use my armor. There's fucking one right there. And we've lost half of our perks. Well, we'll make do. Yeah, I wanted to use my armor and I used the Ethereum ability instead, unfortunately. So we lost Juggernog. We've lost Deadshot Daiquiri. We still have Quick Revive. Oh, it's just right here. We've lost quite a lot of our good perks here. Stamina. So this could be a really tight finish. Big guy just spawned. I essentially just need to grab it and jump out of the window. That's what I'll be aiming to do. Fuck that megaton, right? Get on our boat and get the fuck out of here. Yeah, we've just got to put it on the drop deposit zone and we're good. What I liked, the main reason it was such a big issue dropping off the first one, you know, with the difference with putting on my shield to the Ethereum Blast, is I like to use the Ethereum Blast right as I'm about to deposit it, because it clears everything away enough that like I'm not going to go down, which is why I went down. See, I only got one zombie there, but it'll be enough for me to get this done.
That's it. Your green list.
Thankfully, we've got enough money. We'll just go and buy our perks back and we'll move on. But
Launch sequence.
could have been a bit trickier. You know, we could have got stuck on retrieving that second canister, and yeah, that could have been it.
2, 1. Satellite shows successful launch. Trajectory plotted. Package is en route.
Fresh Ethereum.
We're taking a lot of damage because we don't have Juggernog anymore.
Anomaly
I'm
located.
trying to get over there to
Ready
get it.
when you are.
We just give these guys something to play with. That's all they want. They're just a little bored.
Mangle their meat. Ships attack.
They feel much better.
The light fades from their eyes, but it's not the same.
We also need to get another silk revive. I don't know if we have enough scrap, given that we literally just... Oh, we got tons of scrap. What am I talking about? Alright, let's just move on. Whoops. Armor. Always armor. Alright. Wave 10. Now sometimes at this point, my game will sometimes get a bit buggy and it might just force close the game, so hopefully that doesn't happen. If it does, I'll have to like transition it a little bit to like a break scene or something. Oh, it's a holdout, you can just tell, yeah.
Photon indicates a power
Well,
node
this might be the
nearby.
last wave that we get to do.
Accelerating the Ethereum infestation in this area.
We'll give it out like an honest, solid try. Holdout on this map isn't the worst holdout, I'll be honest. But, you know, like just watch how like bad, you know, the ray gun's not doing what it used to do. You know what I mean? It's now a 3 kill to some things, so it's not, you know, the be all end all that it was. It's also not smashing through the elite zombies quite as well as it was. try to shoot the ground to like disable them a little bit, slow them down. That's what we're trying to do in Holdout. As they move slower, they're less of a threat. But no promises. Just gonna go straight to it. I'm not gonna do my armor up before we go into it because I will probably want to do it when we go into it. But look, we've got a self-revive, we have a quick revive. I didn't get a tombstone, but, you know, it is what it is. Some of the little sneaky bits in Holdout is if I go down and I have a self-revive or the quick revive self-revive, which is where, like, if I have a quick revive and I kill an enemy while down, I will self-revive. If I have either of those two still available and I'm down and the Holdout ends, we win. So, let's see how we go.
Plant the charges on the Dark Aether crystal. We need that portal closed yesterday.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I don't know about this, guys, but I'll do my best for you. Holdout really sucks the later the rounds go. I don't know if at any... Oh, wow, it's not the level that I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be in the barn, and it's not. This is actually one of the worst Holdout areas you can go, in my opinion. I hate this area. Yeah, damn. Okay, well, we're going to need this, that's for sure. Yikes. We're already struggling a little bit. I did not want to reload. I want to do this. Hoping that if I'm repairing barriers, it'll slow things down a bit. Like it will, but I'm just hoping it'll actually make a decent impact. They'll usually come from a couple of similar points. Alright, we're starting to get breached from over there now. We got ourselves a mangler. Alright, we are breached. Actually, this will really help in regards to like getting a few things repaired. The place I really wanted to get repaired is here. I won't be able to stop. Oh, okay. Just turn around as a mimic. You know. That's never been a bad sign. Okay, so we are like properly breached here. Breached over there. We're about to get breached here. And of course, like, you know how I said in one of the previous levels that, you know, it's great that I've got that gunner chopper? Yeah, that's useless in Holdout. We've only got a minute left, and I don't remember how long the quick revive timer is. I'm pretty sure it's like 20 or 30 seconds. So we nearly just have a little bit of time to go, and then we've got a guaranteed win. Okay, I'm getting trapped here. Oh, I am trapped here. Had to use our ability here. It'll slow everything down, but yeah, we were kind of in a bit of a spot. I really shouldn't be in this doorway here, but I'm trying to not go down on Holdout in wave 10. That's what I'm trying to do. Like me personally, I would love to get through it solo without any downs. 40 seconds left. Oh, fuck myself. I jinxed myself. For sure I did. Yep, there we go. Alright, so we've lost a lot of our perks here, so I'm just going to stay down for a second, see how long we can last. I know we're going to lose more perks as we go down, but, you know, we'll see. It's a bit of a cheesy way to do it, I know, but I kind of want to do it for, like, get past wave 10 and stuff for you guys. We're just going to come out of this with no armor. Now, the last time I did something like this, and I had no armor, yeah. Alright, I'm going to revive now. It would have revived me if I was still down as it moved us through this transition, but I didn't know if I would still be down and survivable enough. Alright, so the last time I did this and I got out of here, I died going to the anomaly because I had no armor. So I've got to be a little bit careful. We'll probably use this jump pad just so we can really skip a lot of it.
That crystal is history, Carver.
Nice work.
There's an order of there I really don't want to trigger.
Across the region. For now, at least.
It wasn't the best thing. I really wanted to do it without going down. We kind of nearly did, but we didn't. But we got enough money to buy all of our perks back and stuff, so I'm really not too worried about that. Could you imagine hitting that? Just we died. Like, that's how our run ended. Okay. Alright, first things first, let's armor up. Just in case we get attacked. We need another self-revive. And pretty much every perk under the sun. Okay. Round 11. Oh, the game's struggling here. This is what I was talking to you about. Yeah, the game crashed. Game crashed after all that effort in holdout. I'm just going to put us on the brakes scene just in case it takes me back to... Yeah, 100% the game crashed. Alright guys, well, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. We did, I mean, at least we did successfully beat the holdout on wave 10, so we didn't take the easy way out there. But look, I'm sorry the game crashed, man. What more can I say? We did our best. Thanks for sticking around. Sorry we couldn't get to a really high wave. I don't know how some people get to wave 100 without their game crashing, but yeah, look, I'm sorry that it ended this way. But thanks for sticking around. It's been a 2 hour 45-minute stream. I've had a great time. I've enjoyed sticking around, chatting. Be sure to drop a follow if you've enjoyed this. We'll probably have some more zombies showing up tomorrow at around the same time, and probably Thursday as well. Friday, I'm getting some dental care done, getting some teeth pulled out, some wisdom teeth. So I'm going to be out for all of Friday, probably all of Saturday. But hopefully we'll get some streams in on the weekend. Also, don't forget, it's probably not a real urgency, but the YouTube channel, youtube.com/regular gaming. Don't forget to drop a subscribe on there if you're looking for any of the stream highlights. I will be working out a way to get those uploaded there. At the moment, there's only one video, so it's not really a huge thing. Just depends how much you want to support, what we're doing here and the community we're building. But I'm Mr. Jordan, and I'll see you guys on the next stream. Take it easy.